First impressions. What do they do? What is the change?
The Endgame Collapse is a new phase that pushes all lingering survivors to escape before being claimed by the entity, which draws the trial to a brutal close. Players can activate the Endgame phase in two ways: by opening a powered-up exit gate or by closing the hatch. Both the killer and survivor can open the exit
What? Closing the hatch?
gate or by closing the hatch.
So you close the hatch.
The killer and survivor can open the exit gates. Only the killer can close the hatch. A 3-minute countdown will start as soon as the endgame phase is activated. A progression bar will appear on the screen to indicate how much time remains. The countdown's pace will be altered by the state of the survivors. The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will receive audio and visual cues of the impending collapse.
Holy shit.
When time runs out, any survivor remaining, even those hiding in lockers, will fall into the clutches of the entity. They will count as regular sacrifices for the killer. When only one survivor remains, the hatch will spawn and open, no matter how many generators were repaired. Once the endgame phase is...
No matter how many generators repair, so now you don't even need to do 2. Literally, it's always going to have that. That's interesting. So if you really like a proper potato team... what's it? So, all 3, then the trapdoor comes... You could still camp it though, technically, right? And just wait, and then just boop. So it's still, there's that issue. Unless it doesn't show the trapdoor until the very end. Because you could still just camp it, couldn't you? Yeah, it's an update what they're putting. Just close it. But you can't if you're hooking someone at the other side of the map.
is activated, all generators will be blocked by the entity. Tensions will run high as the survivors race against the clock to save their friends from the entity while evading the killer. But in the end, all will collapse.
What's this again?
The Endgame Collapse is a new phase that pushes all lingering survivors to escape before being claimed by the entity, which draws the trial to a brutal close. Players can activate the Endgame phase in two ways: by opening a powered-up exit gate or by closing the hatch.
Right, so it isn't after the generator's done, it's after they open the exit gate. E-Love, thank you for the 4-month. You get to keep cameras. And Lickage, thank you. Continue opportunity. Also, XL Legion, or Extra Large Legion, maybe. Thank you for the Prime. Guardian, thank you for the Prime. You both get to keep cameras. And Lickage, thank you. Continue opportunity. Megastar, thank you for the 50 bits. Give us deep explanation after watching the end game. Well, I'm just looking, I'm dissecting it. There's a lot to take in.
Both the killer and survivor can open the exit gates. Only the killer can close the hatch.
Wait. The killer can open the exit gates? What are they on about? If they want to start the timer. It's weird.
Only the killer can close the hatch. A 3-minute countdown will start as soon as the endgame phase is activated. A progression bar will appear on the screen to indicate how much time remains. The countdown's pace will be altered by the state of the survivors. The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will remain in state. The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will receive audio and visual cues of the impending collapse. time runs out, any survivor remaining, even those hiding in lockers, will fall into the clutches of the entity. They will count as regular sacrifices for the killer. When only one survivor remains, the hatch will spawn and open, no matter how many generators were repaired. Once the endgame phase is activated, all generators will be blocked by the entity. Tensions will run high as the survivors race against the clock to save their friends from the entity, while evading the killer. But in the end, all will collapse.
So it looks like they are allowing the killer to close a trap door, but it won't stop people camping trapdoors. Like, perfect example, that game I had today where I was on the hook and she was just camping at the trapdoor waiting for me to die to go into it. It'll get rid of hatch standoffs though, which is nice. That's cool. And they've added a weird mechanic at the end. I guess so people can't really BM and just stay for ages. So that's kind of cool. Do you think 3 minutes is too long, or do you think that's a good time? Because you have to remember, it's 3 minutes after they've opened the exit gate. Three minutes is quite long considering it slows down. Yeah, it near enough goes to a crawl, doesn't it, when you're down? So look, it literally doesn't even move.
Tensions will run high as all generators will be blocked by the entity.
It was like
Each time the countdown is depleted by a quarter, will be altered by the state. Will go slower.
There it is. That is ridiculously slow. Like, look at it moving there, right? And that's a 3 minute timer, and it's moving that fast, right? That's in 3 minutes.
Countdown's pace will be altered by the state.
And then watch when they go down.
The progression will go slower when a survivor is hooked or put into a dying state. Each time.
I don't know how slower it is. Maybe double. It looks cool. The design of it's cool. What's that, Nizichu? You can't just pause shit and not tell me what it is. Damie, thank you for the 12 month. You get to give comments, and Lickies, thank you. Got to opportunity. Appreciate it, man. Sorry, what Cora's doing now. Cole, thank you for the 100 bits. Blood Warden hype. It only lasts. How long does the Blood Warden last? A minute? 30 seconds. Seraphon, thank you for the 13 month. You get to give comments, and Lickies, thank you. Got to opportunity. There we go for the best streamer on Twitch, in my opinion. Appreciate it, man. 1 minute. And you can't down people either. Someone will be hooked though for Blood Warden. So 6 minutes, right? It's going to take 6 minutes. If you hang someone last minute, it's GG. I think mainly this is just for the hatch standoff, to be honest. I don't think it's going to make much difference to anything else. I think visually it will, and it's cool and stuff. Maybe Pig. Pig? Possibly to Pig. But, yeah. I think it's mainly for the hatch standoff, to be honest. But it's cool, and maybe there's something I'm not really getting with it, but it doesn't... Why would you stay... like... For the trapdoor thing, they can just camp it and escape that way. So it doesn't work for the camping trapdoor, slugging the third person to get a 4-man. That stays the exact same pretty much. But when someone hasn't found the trapdoor, closing it and then this happening, that changes. So that's cool. There's no hatch standoff. And then what else would it change? It enforces the team to leave together. No, it doesn't. The timer doesn't start when all the gens are done. If they did, that'd be interesting. No, it does it when the exit gates open.
Players can act.
Look.
The endgame collapse is a new phase that pushes all lingering survivors to escape before being claimed by the entity, which draws the trial to survivors to escape.
I just want to see if you had no head.
Claimed by the entity, which draws the trial to a brutal close. Players can activate the endgame phase in two ways: by opening a powered-up exit gate or by closing the hatch.
There you go. So it happens in two ways. The exit gate is open, so pretty much you could just escape, so it's done. Or the killer closes the hatch, which pretty much means there's one survivor left, or you've used a key. But usually, if you've used a key, I guess it'll be good for us key people actually. Yeah, key won't be as BS, but you'll need to see them go for it. They could still do it stealthily, but it could do something to the key as well. I wonder. Oh, the hatch only spawns when there's one survivor. Can you not use key anymore? Unicorn, thank you for the 25 bits. Really, it puts a timer on how long people can hang around to try and save someone. Granted, gives them quite a while, but at least it's not forever. True. CP Lander Smith, thank you for the 3 bits. We're in the end game now. Hatch auto spawns on last survivor regardless of gens done. Yes. So you can't use. You guys are saying that you can't use a key now though, which I didn't hear it say. So I'm trying to see what you're on about. Because what I'm thinking is you can use a key, open the hatch, right? And then once you've opened the hatch, the killer waits there for other people trying to jump. If they jump, he can grab and put on a hook. If no one else was there, he can go to the hatch, he can close it, and then you can start the end game timer really early. Maybe. See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it would work with a key. I guess we'll see, right? We'll watch it all fully one more time, but yeah.
Both the killer and survivor can open the exit gates.
And the killer can now open the exit gate. For some reason.
A 3-minute countdown will start as soon as the endgame phase is activated. A progression bar will appear on the screen to indicate how much time remains.
3
The
minutes.
countdown's pace will be altered by the state of the survivors.
Halves.
The progression will
Looks
go
like it
slower
halves.
when a survivor is hooked or put into a
Maybe
dying
less.
state.
But it
Each
looks like
time
about
the
half.
countdown is depleted by a quarter, survivors will receive audio and visual cues of the impending collapse.
Okay, that's just a visual thing.
When time runs out, any survivor remaining, even those hiding in lockers, will fall into the clutches of the entity. They will count as regular sacrifices for the killer.
Will it just be one hug?
When only
Or will it
one
give you all
survivor
three?
remains, the hatch will spawn and open, no matter how many generators were repaired. Once the endgame phase is activated, all generators will be blocked by the entity. Tensions will run high as the survivors race against the clock to save their friends from the entity, while evading the killer. But in the end, all will collapse.
Quite a good animation. Okay. Key will be used to reopen closed hatches. Are you speculating? Why would the killer open the gates? I don't know. Because 3 minutes is a long time. And you've got someone on a hook, and it says when people are hooked, it goes even slower. So they'd be like 6 minutes. We're just kind of speculating, though. But it looks like one thing I think we can agree, gets rid of hatch standoff. Pretty much. And that's what we wanted, so... It adds a new kind of visual element and all these kind of things, but for the most part, it gets rid of hatch standoff. So... Alright. What is that other one, or are you just giving that to other people? So yeah. And also, if your whole team dies and you didn't do any gens or whatever, because your team weren't too strong, or you went against a slugging nurse or something. Yeah, but slugging still... There's still the thing what I don't know. We'll see when it goes in. It's definitely a positive, though, I think. I'm just trying to think as to cover all bases. But there is a lot of bases to cover in there. I'm just thinking. Maybe the hatch shouldn't show. Okay, hear me out, guys. If they want this to be so no killer wants to slug to get the 4th man, they need to have it where the hatch doesn't show. Because the whole reason, I'd say one of the reasons, it's not the whole reason, but one of the reasons killers slug the 3rd man to get the 4th is in case they hatch camping. So they're still going to slug if they want that 4th man, right? But they can close it. You can't close a trapdoor when you're at the other side of the map hooking someone. The hatch won't appear while 2 are alive. Is that how it is? Because that's what I'm saying. That would be good, I think. Because I don't think it changes anything if they can see where the hatch is. Oh, it said that in the vid, did it? Oh, I must have missed that then. Only no. Only opens is different to seeing it. Doesn't that ruin the key then? The key is used to open the hatch again. Are we speculating this shit? Or are we just guessing? Or are we making our own fucking shit up? Jack the Mimic, thank you for the 68 bits. Please read previous. Oh, okay, one sec. Wolf Chaotix, thank you for the 8 month. You get to give Carlos and Lucky's, thank you. Cut his opportunity. Appreciate it, mate. It said it only spawns when there's 1 survivor. Okay. So are they changing it then? I guess we'll have to see, right? But if it is that way that you're saying, where you can't see the trapdoor until you're the last survivor, and then you can and it's open, and then the killer can close it, but if you have a key, you can open it again. That's interesting. It makes the keys not as stupid as well. They are stupid. They are. They're really badly done. That would be interesting, though, if that's what you're saying. But it seems too good. Like, I have faith in behaviour, but it seems too good of an idea. Do you know what I mean? Because they're fixing keys as well. They're fixing hatch standoff. Like, that'd be too good of an idea. But is that how they're doing it? Or are we speculating this shit? Hatch will spawn and open when only 1 survivor remains, no matter how many gens are left. But what do keys do? As someone said. It's completely true. Like, what will they do? No clue on keys, exactly. Keys now open lockers. Well, speculation-wise, what we're thinking would be awesome, because they're fixing a lot of things in just one go. But I have a feeling that's too good to be true. So I'm gonna wait.